Halor ka jingja ya syo ya dat hakara liwat kam jong samla ya kabala peniat da keseng FKJGP kalawan raya ke jingbom songotanat laong Myntri Rangbah ke jela ukon rat kongkal sangmah bat kepulit kila depan kem ya Uwei ubodon keti hak baya syo ya dat bat penjulori kali haka jing keren bat kilat pathai kubor ha office trikam jong keseng National People's Party haba pentip naga liang jong ukon rat kongkal sangmah Ulang bagi pulit kelale ia kejong kam jongki bat Uwei ula syakem bat keladon lightly kijing ai jahar kibla ujor halor kene kejinja u konrar kongkal sangma ulang ba kwa aban Ithuh bakat nongut ladep ban Ithuh bat bagi dei kibah kamat ne bakta kti ya kiri poj ba kiba yai lenti ha kapor ka bagaseng FKJGP kapelong ni kete kijing ai poj ba bat ulang ru bak an kan sale ada kaptenge persya ya kibah penmi ya kejing kelmar Ula ongru bahaga tegi jingja kila don langut kibriu kibala mansau tambah kim sempat la mansau jur bat kila yo ya kejing sumar bat kila don lai teli kali kibala syapen julor kiba kentuk ki kali bat kum juru ki tuk tuk bat kawai ki kali jong sipai kibala julor melumala bat nelor kene kam sem la don kano kejing julor jong giwe pat ki kali jong giru pai ba u Myntri Rangbah ula ongru bak sarkar nang ne sakmat kan penjur susu ia kijing berking bat kan sim susu ia kilat kelenti bante lakam kanang makan nomi kano kam kabaye per jumut apa dengan sarkar bat kipai ba bat ula ongru bak sarkar kalong kebala penkrek ha barok kiliang ong konrat kongkal sangmah na kaliang jong kilat pathai kubor kibala kali na Myntri Rangbah halor kete kijingja bahato kene gede kijing bombiang jong ketenat sentiat ha badan kibakum kite kijingja kamtam ha bagi sang bahlang kilapan jingbit ban penlong ye kene program bat kin but renti ru ye kendon jing perking naga liang jong Myntri Rangbah ke jela ula pentip da kebong bakalami ketiga jingja baki don tang kato ka dengut kibriu kula depan Ithuh bat nagi kat san spa ngut tam kibriu kibai simbanta ha ketiga rali kidon tang kato ka dengut kibala don keti ha ka kam thombor ong konrat kongkal sangmah
right place. Job creation is not as I said angle when you can just simply look at one sector. I have just explained to you how in the entrepreneurship sector, we have come out with a specific policy for startups and entrepreneurship. That itself is a policy for addressing unemployment issue. In the farming sector, we have come out with the policies of having different programs, be it the focus program, be it the milk mission, the piggery missions, or all the other different missions that we're having, be it the different IVCS programs and the trainings that we're giving. These are policies to address unemployment in the agriculture sector. For the different women's groups that we have created programs, these are all programs where 40,000 women groups having members of over 4 lakh members in this. They have been given financial support and help, and today this policy is creating livelihood and helping unemployment situation being done, and that is a policy that relates to the women's sector. So every sector, tourism, we have come out with detailed policy on how we should go with infrastructure development in the important locations that are there, whether we should go for homestay programs, whether we should come out with high-end hotel rooms, whether we should come out with vehicles to support the youngsters who will be able to then become travel agents and provide the taxi services that are required. These are tourism-related policies to address unemployment in the state. So every sector is being done precisely with the objective of providing jobs and to address the issue of unemployment. Since the government has taken over, we have 2,000 new entrepreneurs who have been supported by the Meghalaya government. These are not just individuals, but these are people who are running businesses. So the Prime program has been one of our core programs that we've been doing. Apart from that, more than 20,000 plus different kind of producer groups have been formed in order to ensure that different support is given through agriculture support and funds are given to them. We have formed a large number of cooperative societies so that different cooperative societies can get training and they can go into food processing, packaging and marketing of their products outside. We have large number of self-help groups which were not formed before, were formed during our time. These are all steps towards job creation and livelihood creation. Now, if one has to look at only government jobs as jobs, then that is being very narrow in the approach. So therefore, from our point of view, until unless entrepreneurship and the overall rural economy, the service sector, the large number of today, for homestays, we had opened up about 1 month or 1.5 months back, we had opened up the applications for homestays, and you'd be happy to know that hundreds, almost 700 people have applied for it. And obviously these are also job creations. So through this, not just them, the people who own it, but the people who work in it also will get jobs. You look at what's happening in Taj today. With the opening up of Taj, in direct employment, over 100 people have got employment. And out of these 100 people who got employment, almost all of them were working outside. And today they're back here in our own state at home working. And out of this 100, almost 80% are women. So therefore, all different kind of projects and programs are being done precisely to create jobs, and that's been one of the centers of the way the government works. And therefore, if one looks at only government jobs and says, well, what is happening there, then as I said, it's a very narrow perspective of job creation. Government jobs are there, of course they need to be filled up, and process is on. As I said, even the fact that the temporary teachers that were there, who now of course some of them have made it an issue, who could not make it when the posts were regularized. You have to realize that these posts were temporary posts, and these posts were casual teachers. And today, against those 1,000 casual posts, 1,000 permanent teachers have been appointed. Similarly, the recruitment process for all other government sector programs, government sector departments are going on even as we speak. So therefore, the process is on. Things do take time. COVID has not been something that has helped us. So under all these things, all these areas are being addressed. And also for future situations, the necessary arrangements and necessary SOPs and all different kind of arrangements that need to be made for future. Those areas also were discussed in detail, and many other areas of law and order situation were discussed, which will not be appropriate for me to share right now on public forum.
So what is the update on the case?
Sorry?
What is the update on the case?
Already one person has been arrested, and there is also 3 FIRs that have been lodged. Large number of people, I don't want to give numbers, I know the numbers, but I don't want to give it out, have been identified, who were the main miscreants, who have attacked innocent people, and necessary action is going to be taken against those people.
Any compensation has been announced?
This is actually the 3 people who were injured. They were given the necessary treatment. The injuries were not of a very serious nature. Of course, they were hurt, but it was not of a serious nature. And there were about 2 or 3 vehicles, mostly autos and scooters, and 1 gypsy, which I think belonged to the army, that were slightly damaged. But apart from that, there was no major damage to any personal vehicles or any kind of assets of the government.
Sir, is there any failure of intelligence?
See, one can gauge and just come to a conclusion of any kind of situation and give it a tag name of failure of intelligence. But in situations like these, especially when organizations are there who are asking for different kind of permissions to hold these programs, there is a sense that, of course, as they've mentioned, that they will follow the procedures and everything. There is, administration always believes that there is some sense of at least some trust in this entire process. And therefore, certain things come out completely as a surprise to everybody. And in this entire incident that happened, there were few selected people who were identified, and and therefore it could be clearly seen that out of the 1,500 plus people who were there were very, very few selected who resorted to this kind of a violent activity. And hence, this was something that was completely came as a surprise. And of course, you can always be, can go to the conclusion and say that, well, you could have intelligence failure. These are all matters of assessment by any individual. But as I said,